YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer, welcome back to Gallop Racer 2004. It is the first week of February. We only have 9 races this month, which is kind of nice, so we can actually get a little bit closer to the spring that much faster. There's a lot of things I realize, and I kind of just want to walk you guys through it. We are pretty close to inbreeding. We don't have it in any of our pedigrees, but we're extremely close. Like we could easily, I should say, encounter inbreeding if we didn't do this particular year of breeding season properly. So I'll have a whole bunch of, essentially there will be entirely new families starting with every broodmare that we have. There will still be a couple more mares I'll have to retire before then. As well, but yeah, I've realized we need to start diversifying. So what we're going to do, and we've been talking about this a lot on the Discord. If you guys aren't in our Discord, go to the description box below, click on the link to our Discord. It should still work. If it doesn't, just leave me a comment on the video saying the link needs to be updated, but it should still be working because people are still joining. So we've been talking a lot about breeding. What gives you the best horses? How many mares should you have to one sire? How many different families do you want to have and kind of branch off of? And yeah, I realized I've used certain sires too much. Same thing with certain brood mares, and I don't want to get in that habit. As good as they can be, not all of their horses have been successes. So we're going to start being a little bit more strict with what we need to do as far as breeding. Not saying it's not going to be enjoyable. It's the complete opposite. I think we're going to be forced to really focus on the strongest potential pairings, and then we can start getting to a point in this game where, for any of you that have watched me in our live streams in Gallop Racer 3, I feel like our families are very unique and are all pretty competent over on that game, some better than others. I feel like here we have a little bit of just kind of a lot going on because a lot of our horses, I've noticed, are half siblings. They'll either have 7 horses will have the same sire, different brood mares, or vice versa. One brood mare had 6 foals and they just ended up having different fathers. So I definitely want to avoid that becoming more of a thing than it already has been. So that's why this year's breeding will be a lot different. I already have the tentative pairs. I'll try to put them up on screen here. A couple that I want to start right off the bat. These I think I'm canceling. So in fact, don't even look at that screen. Those were combinations I realized wouldn't work. I was up. I'm not even lying. Okay, don't judge me. I swear to you, I was up for. It was from I think 10 p.m. till 3:34 a.m. I was going through all of my horses in the game and finally putting all of the pedigrees together on a spreadsheet file in a visual format. I had never done that before. Thankfully, a few of you in the community have been keeping up with the pedigrees, especially Abigail, but I had to organize everything. I had to double check horses and make sure that I had everybody properly connected to who they were connected to. And that's when I realized, wow, I overused a lot of sires and I overused a couple of brood mares, and I'm not going to do that anymore because now it's making breeding a little bit more difficult in regards to who we replace, who we absolutely need to breed with, just for the sake of avoiding inbreeding. I want to make sure we have some flexibility. So we will be updating that this year. Like I said, I'll probably put the breeding pairs on screen now, or maybe in between now and the next race, probably in that transition screen. So we'll be starting off here today with an open allowance going 7 furlongs on the turf here with our 3-year-old colt, Secret Ending. Secret Ending doing very nicely for us. As you can see his chart, the dude is lights out fast, very powerful. He's got a good temper, good heart. He's very tough and he's gritty. Only a sprinter 5 to 7 and a closer. He's 4 for 4. We have 3 grade 1 wins. So I'm going to retire him before we do this upcoming breeding season, which means I'm basically going to retire him within the next 2 months. I could totally keep racing with him, but we need fresh blood back in the barn ASAP, and he's our first legitimate fast sprinter. Especially for a sire that we've had in a while. We haven't usually had horses at least this fast and powerful, so I will get him back there immediately. We can start getting some really fast sprinters. We'll get a really strong line going with that, so he'll be up today in the opening allowance going 7 furlongs on the turf. And we'll go ahead and see how that goes. And now I should be putting up the breeding combination somewhere in between the last, I guess, 10 seconds and now. If you guys want to look at these as well, again, make sure to join our Discord. You don't even have to talk in the Discord if you don't want to. You can just make an account and you can just look at all of our conversations and our different channels and what we're talking about. So I'll also post the breeding combinations there if you need them. So again, we're starting here today in the open allowance, going 7 furlongs on the turf here in Washington, D.C. Snowy conditions here in the month of February. Still, we are the heavy favorite with Secret Ending. We really shouldn't struggle in this field of 10. And I'll go ahead and go through the post parade. So we'll go ahead and start with the 1. This is Visible Carol, 3-year-old filly, ridden by Thorpe. Here is the 2-horse Remarkable Ace, another 3-year-old filly, ridden by Boyce. And I probably should be showing the stats actually like this, so we can actually get to look at these horses. I want to start familiarizing myself with more of the in-game horses, especially some unknown ones that we can maybe look at for breeding down the line. So let's move on to the 3, Perfect Ending. In fact, can you see if these horses have stats? You can. The first 2 do not. Most of them probably don't. These are all opens. Anyways, the 3, Perfect Ending, 3-year-old colt. And you see his stats there. Move on to the 4-horse, Personal Star, another 3-year-old colt. Not much of a chance here today. Does have spurt counterclockwise, not good. Move on to the 5, Bio Position, 3-year-old colt. Closer with a Stubborn, so not bad. The 6 is Hydro Sherbert, your 5th favorite today, another 3-year-old. In fact, most of this field I think is just 3-year-olds. Now that I think about it, so I probably shouldn't be saying that every time. Fast pace, okay, so this horse wants to run as a mid. I wouldn't be surprised if this horse did try to go for the lead as well, or at least compete with us at the front. So could be a procedure to watch out for. Of course, we're on the 7, Secret Ending. We already know his story. The 8 is Visible Prize. Should be setting the pace. Late bloomer, though, with stretch burst. Shouldn't be much of a threat today. The 9 is Fine Crystal. Mid horse, no abilities, shouldn't be too much of a thorn in our side. The 10 is Southern Leopard. Deep closer, lots of power, decent speed, 2nd favorite, so last to first and inflexible. Again, I don't know if the AI actually tap into these abilities when they're riding on the horse. I would, in kayfabe, want to assume that they are. Like when the AI are going past you, that's when you know they've tapped into an ability. I would like to say, but I can't confirm that. So for the sake of my kayfabe, I'm just going to say, yeah, the AI horses still, they get some sort of boost in these races. If it's the abilities, then I think maybe it's that. Anyway, Secret Ending, let's go ahead and start with this open allowance. There's really no more grade 1s between now and April for him at this distance of 5 to 7 furlongs. So I'm just going to race him in opens, grade 2s, and grade 3s until I can retire him. Is that what's his face next to us? A post position 6 with the Japanese flag silks. That's I didn't think he raced in opens. Yeah, Omura. I thought he only raced in special grade 1s. I think we just unlocked him to be a rival that we raced against last season. He wasn't in my game until then. So forgot with Secret Ending we're really supposed to be way at the back here. But in all honesty, I think he's more than capable of still having a strong running. Just coming around turn 4. Still nice and easy with Secret Ending, just kind of looking for a lane. I think I found it through these horses. I'm going to hope. Just going to kind of move them over like that. We're going to have to do a little bit of maneuverability to make this work. Furlong and a half left to go. Oops, bumped that horse. Didn't mean for that to happen, but Secret Ending is tough for a reason. Oh, I overwhipped. Oh, and it's a bad opening race. Completely botched it. Overwhipped again. Completely not even in the rhythm. And absolutely destroys an easy race with Secret Ending. Not gonna lie, that's one I would like to run back. So fortunately, this was only one race this week. I'm definitely going to redo that. We're going to redo it, and then we'll move on. I definitely should have just had him at the back to begin with. I kind of overcomplicated that for myself. But thank goodness for save reloads. Could you imagine? What if I lost him based off of that? No, he's still there. I know it's usually like at least 2 or 3 efforts of like not hitting your goal that you could lose a horse. But I swear sometimes I've lost horses one time. I wouldn't normally edit this part out, but we're going to stick with it because it just goes to show you, you got to make sure you get warmed up and make sure you realize where you should be in the race. Kind of fell asleep. And the next thing I know, I'm racing Secret Ending as a proceeder, absolutely destroying his race. So yeah, we're just gonna like make sure we don't do that this time, and we'll win the race like we're supposed to, and we'll just pretend that's just a learning lesson. Take it seriously. So yeah, we are carrying a handicap. I forgot to mention initially in the post parade, 9 pounds, but again, we're the heavy favorite. It shouldn't affect us that much. We should still be able to get the win. Tender value with the record here, 120 and 8. And the thing is, he gets out so well. I think I'm just instinctively used to horses with this much power wanting to run near the front. He's one of those rare ones that actually wants to immediately slot to the back. So it's been a while since I've had a horse like this, especially a colt with so much power that just wants to be at the back. I'm so used to that on front runners or proceeders. So this was nice, man. Like I said, we'll be able to get a really nice, deep, sprinting, closing type of pedigree going here. You know, like, will we get a honeybee type of horse from Secret Ending? I think we could. Pretty excited about the idea of that. Now this time I'm actually going to move him outside. I didn't like the positioning I had initially. There we go. Much better. Now let's actually see Secret Ending fly. Let's not over whip. And let's show that, you know, again, you need to pay attention when you're playing the game. So there it is. The previous race, that was just like a warm-up. Like, that was just like, that was a workout, you know? That was like a 3 furlong workout. That wasn't the actual race. That was just a 3 furlong workout where he finished 8th place. And even still, the betting public is like, he's still clearly the fastest horse in the field. Maybe he just was having a bad day. We'll still put him as the favorite. That's what happened there. Secret Ending gets the win in that open. All right. Now, we roll on. Now it continues. 6-length winner. I think I'm going to save that because I'm using these for some of the editing in the video, if you guys can tell. Just been watching, as I've been watching horse racing myself, obviously just taking some notes, some things slowly adding to the channel over time. It's all very time consuming, most of it is. Even if I'm just recording an 1.5 hour long video with minimal edits, still, just taking that much time and to do that a couple times a week, you know, it still requires a level of commitment. So, Pink is happy as she should be. She's happy now. The second I lose on one of her horses, she will go back to hating me. We all know how that goes, so whatever, Pink. But good win there for Secret Ending. And again, I'm not tracking open wins as of now. I'll just assume they're a big part of all of my horses' wins unless I started them off with grade 1s. So good win there for Secret Ending. Again, I'm just going to run him in these sprints until I can retire him. I wonder how he would do on the dirt. But actually, I'd rather run him in a grade 3, 8 furlongs at a mile in the Aquamarine. He should be able to handle that, hopefully. So next up, we have 4 races on the card. Let me kick it off here with the grade 3 Silk Road Stakes, going 6 furlongs on the turf with Little Vixen. Or excuse me, this is Roxy Stakes. Moon Singers here. Oh, I forgot. There's 3 different grade 1s. That's the Silk Road Stakes. So actually, we're kicking off with the Roxy Stakes, which I think is the equivalent of the real-life Key Seregi Show Stakes. Grade 3 going 9 furlongs on the turf. Our 3-year-old filly Moon Singer will be up. She is from He's Stargazing, or excuse me, she's from Fairy Singer out of Moon Trapper. I really kind of regret using Fairy Singer. Like, Granted, I haven't seen enough with his horses yet, but I'm not wowed. I'm not impressed. So it is what it is. Well, I mean, I don't know what type of horse she'll be, but we'll have to, I guess, see. We'll have an open allowance here going 10 furlongs on the turf with our 4-year-old filly Rapid Blade, our endurance horse. She's developing quite nicely. Didn't have a good effort with her last time out in that grade 3 Camellia, but that was also on the dirt. She has an okay dirt rating, but she's primarily a turf horse, so I'm just going to try to take advantage of that. And I'll run her on the dirt once her stats are like 10 points higher in most categories. I just think, for whatever reason, she's still not that strong on the dirt. I feel very confident with her on the turf, hence we were able to win 15 furlongs, so that shows you she has the lungs for it. So she'll be up in that open allowance going 10. We have another grade 3. This is the Silk Road Stakes in real life with Little Vixen, 6 furlongs. Just giving her a nice tune-up. She's still fast. I mean, we could retire her now, but again, I feel like until my horses start to really struggle to win races, I need to keep racing them. I feel like it has helped us get quality horses in certain lines, so I'm willing to stick to that. But of course, if there's an opportunity to retire a horse early for breeding purposes, I'll always do that too. And then last but not least, in this week, in the second week of February, is the grade 3 Tucson Handicap, going 9 furlongs on the turf. Delta Dream is up. We've accomplished everything we need to with him on the dirt, so that's why I'm sending him on this turf campaign now. And as you can see, he's been on the turf the last 4 times out. Hasn't won since May. So it's been over half a year trying to get him another win. And hopefully this dropping class at a grade 3 will be able to do just that for him. Kind of another horse I'm just stacking wins with. Wait till I feel like he's not competitive, because I think he'll be a really good sire for us. And I want to extend kind of that growth type of his. Like if he's normal, and for his chart it seems like he peaks at about 3 3/4, right about 4 years old. If we could get him to extend that to maybe 5, 6, well, he's already 5 now, but realistically 6 years old, then I think that would help for breeding. I definitely have noticed that amongst the colts that I raced longer than their growth types, and I retired them and I used them to sire, I did notice a difference in the foals, so I think it's worthwhile. So 3 grade 3s and an open allowance coming up. Yeah, I can't believe I actually did that badly with Secret Ending in the first race. That's just that's a prime example of when I'm not actually focused. Such a thing. There is definitely such a thing as not being focused. Anyways, here is the grade 3 Roxy I was talking about, which this should be the Kisariga Show, grade 3 in Tokyo, Japan, or if it's not Tokyo, just wherever in Japan. Moonsinger, she's the second favorite here today, running 9 furlongs. We will go through the post parade quickly. The 1 is Straight Impulse. You can see the stats on the right. Horse will be at the back from outside. Inside Attack, decent abilities, so not a bad horse, 5th favorite. The 2 is Big Reflection. You see the stats on the right. Probably shouldn't be anywhere near the front. Flats Master Dominator, interesting. The 3 horse, Secret Midnight. Stats on the right. Mid-type runner, no abilities. Probably shouldn't be too much of a threat. 4 horses, Desert Show. You see his stats on the right. Procedure, he will be at the front running with us. Close race, okay. So watch out for Desert Show. The 5, Peaceful Life. A lot of these horses, late growth types, pretty sustained. She's a filly here. Last corner leader. She'll be at the front. Expect her to maybe set the pace depending on if there's a actual front runner. The 6 and the favorite is Stately Glory. A little bit faster than us, better the response. This horse is at his peak. He will be running at the front. Decent power rating as well. Stretch burst and delicate. 7 horses, Perfect Ocean. Pretty fast. Filly here. 78 speed rating. She's at her peak, 65 power, so she's pretty strong, no ability, so expect her to be in the mix at the front as well. The 8 horses, Last Account. Horse will be at the back, not much power, nothing really going for that horse today. Ancient Bomb is the 9 horse. Should be at the front, likes outside, may try to charge a late attack, not expecting too much. The 10 is Native River. Pretty good horse, 72 speed figure here, breaks really well, and should be setting the pace actually. So watch out for this 3-year-old colt, Native River. Solo runner and whip. This guy is actually kind of interesting. I wonder what he's rated. Like, do you think he's A or B ranked? This is him at his peak. I mean, for a mile distance horse that can run on the turf and is okay with the dirt. I mean, I think you could try to really win a lot of grade 3s and grade 2s and maybe the occasional grade 1 with this horse. And establish solo runner and whip front running type of horses. Native River. I'm going to look for this guy. We're on the 11 Moonsinger. Here's our girl, 70 speed. So we also come into this race with a little bit of that. Last corner leader, so expect us to be in the mix. 12 is pretty master. Not much going. We'll also be at the front to challenge Native River, but this horse really out of, I should say, outclassed here today. The 13 is Broad Ballet. You see this horse, not much going. Should be at the back. And that is your 13 horse field for the grade 3. Roxy Stakes here. Got to watch out for Native River, the 10 horse, but we're on the 11 Moonsinger. From Moon Trapper by Fairy Singer. See how this goes. Good temper, perfect start. And we're off and running in the grade 3 Roxy, and it's a great start for Moonsinger. Does bump a horse a little bit with contact, but she gets out fantastic, and now we just have to slot her into position. Pretty competitive here at the front. It's 6 horses all trying to establish some sort of position. Kind of what I expected looking at the field. So, just kind of make sure we slot her in. Great start, though. That was really key. If we got a bad start, we could have found our way really having to fight towards the front, and I hate having to do that. Yeah, the field is constantly changing. Now you got horses trying to lead that aren't front runners. Stately Glory and Perfect Ocean. Stately Glory is the favorite, and I said expect that horse to still be at the front, maybe trying to dictate the pace. Native River's clumped. Oh my goodness, man. It's like 7 front runners just all up here at the front. 11.7 fraction, 12.0 fraction there, so the pace is not that slow. 12.3, slowing it down a little bit. I know we have last corner leader, but I'm just going to have to get her going now. Let's just see how she runs. Second favorite. Let's see how Moonsinger runs. She's doing well here. She's doing well. Approaching furlong and a half. Left to go. Stately Glory has called it a day. All she has to do is just chase down this 7 horse. And Moonsinger making a great run. Gets past Perfect Ocean. The 1 horse is on the outside. That's Straight Impulse trying to have a late surge. It's going to be close. I think Moonsinger may have just held on. Wow. What a grade 3, man. That's going to be close. Who gets it? Straight Impulse. Come on. Oh, wow. What an effort, though. What an effort. Straight Impulse wasn't even supposed to win that race, but kudos. 5th favorite. Straight Impulse getting the job done at the line by a nose. Stately Glory finished in 5th place. So, Moonsinger, she was well placed. I don't really know what I could have done differently there. I say beyond the spurt. I mean, the only thing I wish I would have done is actually gotten her to the lead, or put her in that spot to be first place heading into turn 4. But the pace was kind of moving. Her stamina, I think it's still only 58, so I'm still not trying to run her too hard at the front, even though that's where she needs to be. So I just wasn't really comfortable doing that. We hit our goal, obviously, but yeah, I mean, I definitely thought the win was on. Straight Impulse just nailed us on the line there. That was really her race to win. She clearly beat the rest of the field. Straight Impulse just came on a late charge and just ended up getting us. So I can't, like I said, if we win that race, they're giving us S, or at least S for the spurt. They kind of knocked us on that one, but it is what it is. She hit her goal. She ran well, so I think that's promising at least. Hopefully we can continue to try to really get in that sweet spot and try to get a win. Moving on to the open allowance 10 furlongs here with Rapid Blade. Go through the post parade. Kicking off with the 1 horse Rapid Blade from HRG Stables. Our girl is developing. She's got some power. She's looking pretty well rounded, but she still has some growth to do. She should be well placed here today. As far as her abilities, last corner leader and bears. Unfortunately, if she does run too long at the wrong time, that will become a problem. But we'll have to move on to the 2 horse Royal Weapon, the 2nd favorite, 6-year-old horse in this field. Procedure, expect him at the front, Dominator. 3 horses, Cosmic Trial, 5-year-old mare. She'll be at the front. She's getting closer to her peak. Expect her to be relatively competitive. The 4 horses, Nice Master. Not really a chance here today. Expect at the front. Could be competitive, though, if within 2 lengths of the leader by the time we get to the line. 5 is Main Page. Deep Closer should be at the back. Not much power and speed, though. From outside, depending on if you're in a short horse field, maybe this horse could actually make a run, but I think a little bit outclassed here today. We move on to the 6, Happy Request. Not a bad horse. Has some decent stamina. At his peak, should be at the front. Slow pace, okay. So, completely fine with managing his endurance. 7 horse, Stern Devil, 4-year-old filly. She's really easy to work with. She can have a sudden spurt if, I suppose, if she's in the right place at the right time down the stretch. Counterclockwise, not good. 8 horses, Nice Monster, 5-year-old. And should be at the front. Could set the pace depending on if it's slow or fast. But yeah, expect this horse definitely front placed. 9 horses, Scotch Way. Really tough, lots of guts. Unfortunately, just seems to kind of be in the wrong race here today. 10 horses, Fine Asset. Not much going. Should be setting the pace, and again, competing with that other horse for the front. Is a front runner, so Fine Asset could take us off into the sun, so we'll have to watch out for that. 11 horses, Rough Song, the favorite in today's field. Very gutsy horse. Will be running towards the back. Could also close. Not extremely powerful. Relatively fast, but again, lots of heart. So this horse gets going at the right time. Just could be tough to beat in that momentum. The 12 horses, Aero Condition. Very tough horse at its peak. Pretty good with turf and dirt. So kind of trying it out here on the turf here today. 13 horse, Low Catapult. Also will be contending for the front. Is this 4-year-old colt. Beautiful dude. Solo Runner. Native River. I got to look for that horse. We're on the 1, Rapid Blade, 3rd favorite. We have to set the pace, and I hope Fine Asset, again, doesn't take us to the moon. That is my biggest worry. Biggest worry. Easy Treasure with the record here. Get a good start. We're in post position 1. We can really control this lead. Great start. Rapid Blade is out like a rocket. And look at Fine Asset. This is what I was worried about. That, like, I don't want to chase you for the lead, man. That horse did exactly what I knew it was going to do. I literally called it in the post parade. I'm like, I don't want to have to do that. That's the only reason we can maybe have a bad result today, because we're having to chase this horse that wants to be basically like, what, 10 lengths off the rest of the field? For what? Unfortunately, Rapid Blade, she's okay. Because, again, she is a pretty well-balanced horse. Had she been a horse that had, like, bad stamina or bad power, something really holding her back, then I think running her at the front like this would really hurt her. But fortunately, she is pretty well-balanced. She has a lot of Butterfly's front-running strength, so that's why I use Butterfly Effect with a Bolero sire. Because Bolero sires have failed because we didn't have quality broodmares. Butterfly Effect is the first quality broodmare we've used with one of them. So you see the product here in Rapid Blade. Hopefully still not running too fast. We could have. I'm just going to kind of coast along here with Rapid. I just feel like the pace was so hot early on, man. Like, the 9 horse is done. Are we even going to be able to hold on for our top 3 with Rapid Blade? And no. I mean, the 10 horse is done. And parts of me says, don't chase the horse. You know, but sometimes you can do it and it works. I hate when the AI do that in this game. It's so infuriating on a front runner. That's the only thing I hate about front runners. Sometimes you're literally at the mercy of how fast the AI wants to run their horse. And you have a result like that where we end up chasing the pace. That horse finishes in dead last, as they should, and we finish in 6th. It's so annoying, man. I'm just like, on a front runner, do you sacrifice that leg type? Do you just settle in for 2nd just to conserve your horse's stamina? I don't know. I mean, with Butterfly Effect, she she was really comfortable being 2 lengths out in front of everybody else in the race. So like I could run her like that. She was built for that. Rapid Blade is like a mini version of that, but she's still growing, so I can't quite run her at that competitive pace at the front and still expect to be there. So that's disappointing. I guess from now on, I'm just going to have to kind of settle her in second place, because sometimes the AI, they just find asset just takes off. And it's like you're not going to be able to keep that pace up and still win. That horse didn't have a chance anyway. So at that point, I think I just have to know better just to not chase that horse. We're moving on to another grade 3, 6 furlong sprint here in the Silk Road Stakes with Little Vixen. We will go through the post parade. Kicking off with the one horse here, Radical Fashion. Front runner. Pretty gutsy. No stamina though, so shouldn't be a problem. We are on the favorite here today, Little Vixen. As you can see, still very competitive, sustained growth type, which is fantastic. So I think she's going to be really good for a broodmare once I get her paired up with the right sire, for sure. The 3-horse Ancient Jester. No power, not much of a chance here today. 4-horse Savage Disco, 4-year-old filly, beautiful gray. Lots of heart at the back. Don't expect her to have much of a run unless there is an opportunity where the rest of the field is getting tired. She could end up surprising us. 5 is Clear Voice. Nothing much going on for this horse today. 6 is Complex Stick. A very fast horse, good braking as well. We'll obviously go to the lead, which is fine. We can tuck in behind. 5 to 7 furlongs, right in the window. Second favorite, Gate Rockets. Very, very, very fast front runner here in Complex Sticks. 7 is Roman Express. Horse that could also be competing for the front, so we could have a hot pace, because with a horse like this that's only expected to finish 10th, we just saw it with Fine Asset. It was the same scenario. A horse that had no chance and was a front runner ended up wanting to take the field 15 lengths out in front. Roman Express and the other horse could be going at it for the lead, which could benefit us here even more with Little Vixen. That's kind of what I'm hoping. They really run themselves out and we just kind of stalk by their time. The 8 horse is Fine Partner. Decent horse, pretty fast as well, actually. Mild-tempered, very sustained. Growth type looks good. Fine Partner. I mean, I wouldn't use him as a sire, obviously, now. That stamina is abysmal. The power is weak. But, you know, if you needed an early game speedster with a decent temper and fuel rating, this wouldn't be a bad horse to start with. 9 is Sunny Way. Also another fast horse. Decent power. Expected in the midfield. No abilities. 10 horse is the Exact Partner. Another quick horse. No power at all, though. Could also be running towards the front. Could be a really hot pace. I'm hoping these horses just kind of go for it, and I can just kind of tuck in behind. 11 is Apt Notice. Long shot today. No chance. Stretch Burst, though. Looks like a late developing horse. 12 is Exciting Leader. Another horse with no chance. Spurt and Winter Okay. Interesting ability. 13 is Sunny Line. Horse has some speed and some power. More power than most of the horses in this field. At the back, so with the spurt ability, could be dangerous in closing. And the 14 is Light Striker. Another horse with some decent speed and heart, has shown some of that in recent outs. So our race is here with Little Vixen. Really bummed about that race with Rapid Blade. I had been doing so well with her. I think just hitting her marks. And granted, Little Vixen, actually, she has the record here. Go figure. But granted, like, I haven't had... That was like the first Rapid Blade race I think I've had where there was a horse that wanted to set the pace way faster than what I was willing to go. And I foolishly chased. I should have known. It is what it is. I'll have to learn and just not do that going forward. So, good start here for Little Vixen. And it is Roman Express, Exact Partner, and Complex Stick, the 3 front runners going for it. We are going to keep them a little bit of company. I want Little Vixen to be too forwardly placed, but she's in a good spot here. Very good spot. 10-8. The pace is hot here. Pace is hot. And just kind of waiting for an opening. There we go. Now we're going to go. No Revo. Little Vixen, she's gone. This girl can still run, man. She is still a fast horse. 6 years old. Doesn't matter. 10-9, 10-6, absolutely blazing it. She could beat her own record. Little Vixen, this is why I'm still racing her. She's still so quick under the right conditions. First graded stakes winner of the day here. She gets it done. Fantastic. What a win. What a win for Little Vixen. Fantastic result. We'll take it. 2-length winner of our complex stick. Yeah, those fractions were hot in like the last 2 furlongs, man. We were flying. Absolutely flying. So, start model secret ending. Just gotta make a note. Start with secret ending. Just when I edit this, I know where I need to be, and I'm not searching for it like a goofball. But yeah, really nice win there. I mean, we really had an ideal trip. Tucked there on the outside. Like I said, they were running hot. I could just kind of play off of them. I could keep her back just to make sure she wasn't running as hard as they were. And then obviously once we hit the stretch, it was game over. So easy as it gets. Delta Dream up in this 9 furlong grade 3 here. He is carrying a big handicap though. Still the second favorite. We'll go through the post parade. We'll start off with the 1 here, Shady Flower. Not much of a chance. Move on to the 2, Specific Kick. Also, not much of a chance. Does have some ability. Sure Thing. What is that? I've never seen that on a horse ever in this game. If anybody knows, comment section or Discord, what is the ability Sure Thing? Like, I even have like a file with like the abilities. I mean, outside of just what's in this game, and like I haven't seen that on there. That's so weird. 3 horses, Soul Brush. Could be at the front, Stretch Burst, Winter Okay. Could be competitive out here if the pace is suitable. 4th horse is Ordinary Rank. Very responsive. Last to first, could be a closer, but no chance here today. 5 horse is Delta Dream, our second favorite. We are still in here with enough speed and stamina with the heart. He hasn't even hit a serious decline in all honesty, so we should still be winning these type of races. Tough and grit. 6 horses, Royal Derby. Royal Derby, pretty good procedure here. Nice well-balanced horse, Sure Thing. What is that ability? Somebody tell me. Because I know people have used Royal Derby, so I guess it can't be that common, or that uncommon. I've just never seen it. 7 horses, Desert Eden. On its toes, no power though, no stamina, probably no chance here today. 8 horse, Large Palace. Decent speed. Horse has some heart. Should be running towards the back. Expect a late charge. 9 horses, Secret Diamond. It's really hard for this horse to get in its rhythm. Could go to the front and could set a pretty crazy pace. I want no parts of that. The 10 is Blues Art. Beautiful 5-year-old horse here. Not a terrible horse. Very gutsy. Has to be there at the right time in the right conditions. If that's the case, this horse will be able to outduel the others and probably pull off an upset. The 11 is The Art. A horse that would be better suited maybe in lower competition, I think. Just outclassed here today. 12 horse, Little Tempest, third favorite. Again, another one of those horses, if well placed, could be a challenge here in the end. I'm not really worried about these horses. I mean, I think they're decent, but I think surely Delta Dream is still much more powerful. We're by far, I think, the fastest horse in the field. The 13 is Rushing Knife. Again, another horse, really, I don't think will be anywhere near the top 3. Last but not least is the 14, Faithful Fact, the favorite. Again, a horse I think is actually overly bet. Has grit and tight okay for abilities, but we're faster by quite the margin. Our stamina is better by 12 points. We have better heart. I'm not seeing it. Delta Dream, we destroy the favorite in every category. Okay. We'll be able to benefit sitting as a closer. We do not have to contend with a hot pace at the front. This to me is an ideal trip and dream for Delta Dream. That all rhymed. It wasn't really supposed to. It just kind of happened. All right, we are off. Whoa, 4 horse. Who is that getting left in the gates? That was Ordinary Rank. The long shot, not having a good time already. Delta Dream, great start though. Automatically gonna have to drop him to the back. And who's the favorite? I forgot. Fact. Faithful Fact. Should be at the front. I'm so happy to have gotten like a legitimately successful, secretariat like horse foal. Like, I always thought it would have taken us a while to get a horse at this level, but like Delta Dream killed it straight out of the gate, man. Like, dude was untouchable on the dirt. Still technically is. It's just like there's no reason for me to run him on the dirt. I've achieved everything I've needed to. The only thing I could do is just try to break like records. But I mean, I'm kind of interested in just trying to get him titles if I can on the turf as well. Now I'm way back here. We're gonna have to have a really late rally here. But Delta Dream from way off the pace, trying to perform a secretariat-like effort. And like, I have the speed and stamina to make it work. Around the stretch we come. Delta Dream, furlong and a half left to go. Digging in. Furlong now left to go. Down the stretch, Delta Dream is grinding. Half a furlong. And this is why this guy is so great. Last to first. And makes it look easy. Unbelievable effort, man. Seriously. Unbelievable effort there from Delta Dream. That is a great win for our dude. Great grade 3 victory. Especially from so far off. I wasn't really intending to be that far back. But I'm like, why weren't we the favorite? He was clearly the strongest horse in the field, and it wasn't even close. You know? 33-1. Look at that. That's almost a whole second faster than the rest of the other horses. That's insane. So what, 33-1? Would that be at the quarter? Yeah, that would be at about the quarter. Would that be at the quarter mark? Not the half. That's crazy, man. Yeah, that trifecta pays $400 in a $2 wager. Delta Dream paid $5 to win. Maybe he went off at 5-2. That's what I feel like. Maybe we were technically like the favorite, but they gave it to Stately Act for whatever reason. That horse had no chance against us. Got absolutely smoked. A good weekend. Rapid Blade, disappointment in the allowance race. That was certainly not ideal. I still would like to keep her on the turf for sure. That was a race we surely should have done much better than. But like I said, I chased the pace. That's my fault. That was 10 furlongs as well. I know she can handle the endurance. She's won at that distance, so it's not really a problem. But I still would like to be mindful of what I'm doing with her. Probably going to give her some time to develop. I feel like I mean, that wasn't a good race, but again, I think the circumstances pushed me to race her in a way I shouldn't have raced her. I'm more confident she'll be able to do better down the road. I might run her in a grade 3 in April at 9 furlongs. Yeah, I think that'll be a good test. I could run her in a grade 2, but she's still developing, man. She's still not going to be at her peak closer till 5, so I think if she can secure a victory in this grade 3, I'll feel comfortable running her in a grade 2 and or a grade 1, because 63 speed, 62 stamina. She's still not fast enough, and I know she's not going to be that fast. She inherited her father's lack of speed, so she'll have the power and the endurance. Her speed, unless she has a really strong surge of it, she'll probably be like 75. So she'll be strong enough, I think, to win certain races, but we'll have a small window. I think she'd be an ideal broodmare for sure, and she's still connected. She's the last remaining racing horse that we have anywhere in this playthrough connected to the Great Bolero. So Moonsinger, second place in that grade 3 last time out. Procedure and probably 9 to 14 furlongs. Dirt is questionable. She could be a dirt horse. Yellow turf is her preference. She's hitting her goals though. She's doing well, finishing in the top 3. She's almost at her peak, though. Got to be honest. This is probably a horse we're not going to use for breeding. I can already kind of tell. Like, she would really have to surprise us and kind of go on a winning streak and show she could run for well beyond, her years. Yeah, definitely just looks like a horse that will just toss her in grade threes, grade twos mainly. I don't even think she's a horse that'll be grade one competitive. So I don't plan to do that. I'm just going to keep her grade threes, grade twos, open allowances when they're available. See how she does with those, and who knows? Maybe she can develop a good record, and we can use her at some point. But again, I'm not feeling that confident. I'm surprised with 56 stamina. They want us to run 9 furlongs at the minimum. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I'm actually going to go ahead and toss her in a 6 furlong sprint. I think she's fast enough. And from what I've seen in these grade 3 races, between 65 and 75 is the speed anyway. So she's kind of right there in the middle. I figure if she's going to be worth really trying to race competitively, we gotta keep her on grade 3. She has a really good broodmare, really good mother and moon trapper. Fairy Singer as a sire, probably a fail clearly, so not much I'm looking forward to from him, but Moon Trapper's been successful. So Delta Dream. Fantastic win, first time in over half a year. It was nice to get him that grade 3 win there in Phoenix. Puts his win total to 12 wins in 16 starts. So Delta Dream going strong here. Let me see, what was my goal for him? Do I have any goal for you? Mid-champ. 5 more. So I was just kind of waiting for the grade 1 circuits to open up, and I want to send him on a turf mid-champ run. So we'll run him in the Saint Stakes in April in the last week, 10.5. See if he can win that. If he can, fantastic. If he can't, and it's a little bit too difficult, then I'll have to run him in easier grade 1s, or maybe just focus on grade 2s and grade 3s. He has titles. I don't have to win him another title. Like, I will try to win titles if I think a horse is still capable of it, just because. I think ideally it can always help if you're capable. I don't stress it. I'm trying not to stress it as much as I have. If a horse is just not capable of winning a title, it doesn't mean they won't be a good sire or a good broodmare. It's just, I think in our playthrough, the horses that have won certain titles, or at least have won a certain number of them, I think they have given us stronger quality foals for the most part, not all the time. We've had some really good horses, examply. I was going to say an example from Pink Gemstone. Pink Gemstone was a broodmare that we didn't have a single title with. I think she may have gotten awards, but no titles. Grade 1s, a couple. I think she maybe had like half a dozen or so. And she's given us some of our strongest horses we are currently racing on track. So that just goes to show you, you don't have to obsess about titles to get good horses in this game. So, Little Vixen, good grade 3 victory. She is on a winning streak, hence why I'm not retiring her. Like, until she shows she's not capable of winning, I'm going to keep winning with her, man. 18 wins in 24 starts. She's on a 3-race winning streak with a grade 1, a grade 2, and a grade 3. So I have no reason to stop running her, and I'm not going to. She's a blast. I haven't been able to run with Pink Gemstone in the game in ages, so to be able to run with her daughter and to get a faster horse, basically, come on now. Can't pass that up, right? Not while you can. Do I have any goals for you, Little Vixen? I don't think so. Mile or sprint champ. So she actually has a 6 furlong win, a 6.5 furlong grade 1. These are all grade 1. She's won at 6. She's won at 6.5 furlongs, and she has 3 wins at a mile. So mile or sprint champ, depending on what's available for her. No GWS. I don't need to bother with that. I'm assuming, does she have a mid-champ? Well, mile champ is what she's closer to. We'll run her in the Regal Stakes. I don't think she'll be the strongest horse in the field, that's for sure, but I think she'll still be competitive. So, all right, so that's what we got going there, and then still 4 more races with a grade 3, a grade 2, well, 2 grade 2s and a grade 1. The grade 3 Golden Gate Stakes will be up next. I believe this is the equivalent of the real life Kyoto News Service Handicap. We'll have our 3-year-old colt Marksman coming up here. Still trying to figure out what he's going to be like. Again, he's another Fairy Singer foal. He has at least 2 good abilities, Spurt and Last Corner Leader. He also has Butterfly Effect. This horse should technically be stronger than Rapid Blade, really. But he's not a front runner. He wants to run towards the back, and that's my issue with him. I just don't know if he's fast enough. He has the power, which is great, but how fast is he going to get? I'm not seeing much speed. So we'll see. We're still learning about him, but he'll be up in this grade 3 handicap. And hopefully we can get the win. I mean, that would be obviously really promising, but that all depends on whether or not the horse is actually suitable for this race, ready to run it. We'll see. Marksman up. Field of 13 with 2 fillies. Marksman 4th. So he has a chance. Hit the post parade. The 1 is Exciting Legend. No chance. Last Corner Leader. Could be at the front and or setting the pace. The 2 is Little Game. Very gutsy horse, very responsive. Will be at the front. Could be dangerous. Watch out for Little Game. The 3 is Free Life, the favorite today. Horse, pretty quick, pretty responsive. Could settle anywhere towards the back of the pack or towards the front. So lots of flexibility with Spurt. Watch out for the 3. 4 is Happy Midnight. Will certainly be behind the pace. Could run with the leaders for sure, and could be competitive at the end. 5 is Neutral Chance. Slow pace, not good, not very powerful. I'm not really worried about this horse. The 6 is Irish Eden. Another horse with no chance today. 7 is Irish Bird. Another horse that probably needs to be dropped in class. The 8 is Native Pegasus. Yeah, another horse that really shouldn't be in this race. 9 horse is a Special Typhoon. Another horse that has no business in this race. 10 is Desert River, second favorite. Very powerful 3-year-old filly here with some speed add to her. Mild temper. She'll be running towards the front. She's the second favorite. The 11 is Nicest Today. I think definitely outclassed compared to the top 4 runners, but could, slide in for maybe a 4th position or a 4th, or 4th place result. The 12 is Perfect Fact. Again, pretty fast though towards the front end, but I think everything has to go wrong for everybody else in order for this horse to get the win. And then we are on the 13 Marksman, 4th favorite. We're not very fast at all. We're pretty well balanced though. We have a lot of power, which is good, at least compared to the rest of the field. So definitely have to get the jump on the front runners and see if Marksman can make it happen in this grade 3 Kyoto News Service Handicap. Blues Breeze with the record here. And we're off in the grade 3 handicap here. Marksman gets a good start, and we're going to go ahead and drop him to the back. And he'll settle in nicely here. Let's get him maybe in the draft here. He's not a closer, but I think I could run him in last place and he'd be okay with it. I don't think he'll give me an issue. He has a decent temper, so that's the thing. I think if your horse has a really good temper rating, you can run them out of position and it's not going to throw them off. I guess I need to double check what Rapid Blade's temper and feel is, because if those are at least pretty high or at least relatively good for her age and where her growth type is, then I definitely just need to run Rapid Blade in the best place possible. If she can lead, she has to lead. But if there's a horse setting a crazy pace, just let her slide in second place. She should be okay. So Marksman seems pretty comfortable here today. Just going to move him to the outside now. Make sure we get some running room. Just kind of going to have him coast up. Now, we'll have to get him going now. Not going to get Last Corner Leader, probably. Yeah, way too late on it, but good run. Really good run. Furlong and a half left to go. Hopefully Marksman can continue to just dig in here. The 3 is coming. That could be the favorite. And there's nothing I can do. So Marksman showing a good effort here today. Still fighting, though. Still fighting. That's Nielsen on the 3 rolling. No, Marksman is actually going to hold on and get the win. What an effort. Wow. I just knew the 3 was going to go by us, and Marksman stuck his head in there, stayed committed in the fight. Wow, what a grade 3 win. We're getting some really explosive grade 3 victories, man. They're coming in some close heats or some really last minute surges. So Marksman expected to finish 4th. Great victory there. I meant to save one of Delta Dreams replays. Did I? I can't remember if I saved it. I don't think I did. Yeah, I think I forgot to. It's fine. But really solid victory there for Marksman. I don't know if that was his first win or not. That may have been his first win. Yeah, that surely had to have been his first win. So that was a really great effort. I wasn't expecting him to fight back the way he did in the stretch. I kind of want to watch that replay again, and then we'll get to these last 3 races. So we got a great start, of course, from the beginning. And as you can see me just holding him back, just trying to get him to kind of settle down and just kind of tuck in behind these horses. So, man, Marksman really kind of a dangerous closer, really. Like I said, I totally expected him to kind of call it a day once the 3 horse were starting to roll up on us. And he answered the challenge and just kept pushing. So that's great, man. That dude's got a lot more heart than I would have even guessed. So could this actually be a Fairy Singer foal that turns out to be worthwhile? You know? And again, breeding Fairy Singer with Butterfly Effect, there should be a decent quality of strength in that horse. He has a good pedigree. Western Tigers in there. Irish Fleet, Butterfly Effect. So, I mean, Marksman himself, he should be a strong horse when all is said and done. So as you can say, we're coming around turns 3 and 4. I felt like I was trying some weird Australian, UK, I don't know what else accent. That wasn't even my plan. As you can see, though, coming around turns 3 and 4, I am getting Marksman rolling, and there he goes on the charge, man. Absolutely on the charge. There's the 3 trying to chase us down. Like I said, Marksman looking at him, digging in, digging in. Here comes the 3 Marksman still in the race there. And just really starts digging his hooves into the turf and just holds on. That is a courageous, tough effort. And I applaud my horses when they win like that, because that shows a lot of heart, man. Double S on the spurt, we'll take it. That's a fantastic grade 3 victory there for Marksman. And that definitely gives me faith running him at higher stakes if he develops to that point. I know I have a horse that can hang in there. Now, I want to look for Native River. Like, where would I even find that horse? He'd have to be in one of these races. Laughing Hawk. Native River. I'm going to have to write that down on my thing. Would it be a first timer? I don't know. Yeah, it's probably not even in here. That horse was really interesting. I think he could have turned out to be a... a fun little prospect to have that could actually give us some quality horses with the right broodmare. But it is what it is. I'll just say look for Native River, because I will definitely forget it if I don't write it down. All right, so 3 more races left. Marksman, I'm pretty sure he moves up to A rank immediately. Now, Lockwood is fantastic. This guy... 5 starts, 4 wins, 2 grade 1s. He's on a roll. Lockwood is like Flightline-like at this point for us. 9 to 14. Literally, Lockwood is kind of like our Flightline. Marksman, on the other hand... Okay, that's his 2nd win. Okay, so actually that's 2 back-to-back wins. So we won an open allowance back in the first week of January to kick off. And we won a grade 3. And again, both races, he wasn't even the favorite. So that's actually good signs. So 6 races, 2 wins. 3 finishes in the top 2. Okay. Before I put him in a race, I want to check Rapid Blade's temper and feel. Temper 63, feel 57. I mean, I should be able to run her without being in front, and she should be okay. Yeah, that shouldn't be too much of a problem, so. Alright, good win there for Marksman. Grade 2 Spring Stakes. I'm not mad at doing this with him. I mean, I still think he could use some more development for sure. Top 3 go to the Azalea Cup. I don't know if that's the path I'm trying to set for him. Maybe a grade 3? I still want to make sure he can do that competitively. A grade 2, as great as that win was, and I think his power rating obviously really helps with that. I would like to get another grade 3 victory. And then I think I'd feel more comfortable moving him up to a grade 2. So we'll close with the last 3 races of this video. 2 grade 2s and a grade 1. I'll be on the dirt for 2 of those. Let's go. Newman, no, bro. No. No challenges. No challenges. No challenges. So what will be first? The Kyoto Keenan or the February Stakes with Major River? Probably the Kyoto. No, the grade 2 Oakland, which I think is the Empress Handicap. No, I am all wrong. This is the grade 2 Kyoto Cannon. Eastern Knife. I should have just looked at the horse I had written next to the name. Duh, that's the point, Eric. Field of 12, going 11 furlongs here. Eastern Knife should be your favorite with a little bit of a handicap. Quick Post Parade. The one is Gentle Stage, ridden by Almora. Horse certainly outclassed here today. Should be setting the pace. Could be a really hot pace depending on how this horse wants to run with Almora. Not expecting much of a challenge today. The 2 is Risky Legend. Horse is well beyond his prime. Really should have stopped racing quite a while ago. Should not be a problem today. The 3 is Dear Chief. A pretty responsive horse that'll be at the front. Not the fastest, not the slowest. Everything has to go right for this horse to win today. The 4 is Round Ocean. No power. Decent speed on the front end. No abilities. Flats Master. So actually could be in the mix towards the end depending on how the rest of this race is ran. 5 is Frank Pioneer. No speed, no power, decent endurance. So, not going to win in this graded stakes competition. Surely would have a chance maybe in an open allowance or an open claimer. Move on to the 6, Sexy Sunrise. 5-year-old colt. He is well past his prime. And to be honest, he has no business in this race. 7 is Eastern Knife, the favorite. As you can see, Eastern Knife is a true grade 1 stud. But we have him in this competitive grade 2. We're just keeping him sharp. I'm enjoying working with Eastern Knife. He has great abilities. I kind of just want to run with him as long as I can, or at least until I feel like it's time to put him in the barn if we need him. Which, technically speaking, we could do with him any day. But the 8 is Narrow Shower. Decent speed. Should be towards the back. Could be a dangerous closer depending on how the rest of the field runs. Oh, look, the 9 horse is our formerly owned, trained, Shallow Light. Birthed even. And look at her at her peak. 84 power. Now, she wasn't that fast. Her stamina was good. I certainly think she's a horse that would have been in the position to win certain races. And look at these abilities. She's the second favorite, actually. Second win, strong heart persistency. I'm so upset I lost her, man. Just because of those abilities. She's a general reason horse that I wasn't expecting to be super strong, but I thought the top 6 stats as they are would be quality at least as a front runner, and she has those front running abilities. It's hard to get all those abilities on the horse, so she's the 9. Here's the 10, Sonic Kite, third favorite, carries speed, very tough. Will back out if the race gets too competitive in the end. The 11 is Prime Smile. Closer. Could be in the mix depending on the pace. 12 is Radiant Ball. Has no business in this race, well past his prime. And that's your field for the grade 2. Kyoto Cannon. And we are on the favorite Eastern Knife. Yeah, I'm really bummed I lost Shallow and Light. Because again, I used the horses I used to get the stats and that type of horse for a very specific reason. So to lose that horse is just like, oh well, she's no longer my responsibility. So we're off in the grade 2 Kyoto with Eastern Knife. And look at Shallow Light. Look at how effortlessly she's getting to the front. And again, she's the second favorite. She could very well win from that position. So like she's actually a viable threat today. This is also the cool thing about sometimes having some of my horses that we've lost still in the game and they're actually competitive. Now we can start to develop maybe some rivalries and again, just be able to run against different horses that aren't all the same typical horses that you run against, right? We created Shallow Light from General Reason out of Irish Fleet, so I just think it's kind of cool to see one of our horses actually be at the front and, trying to make something of herself. And granted, her record actually isn't bad. I checked, I think off screen recently, and yeah, she's having decent performances. She's not finishing outside of the money too often, so she's staying in the top 5, which is better than what most of my released horses end up doing with the AI. So she's got a couple wins. So it just goes to show you, my horses, if I let them go, they could end up being potential rivals and challenges for us in the future, which I'm all for. If it keeps things fresh and not feeling so stagnant and stale in this game, I'm all for it. We're gonna have to show her how you run this race, though. Off we go with Easter Knife. She's not responding. Way too late. She still could finish second. In fact, this looks like a clear 1-2 race. Easter Knife leading Shallow Light by 6 or 7 lengths. Easter Knife going to dominate the Grade 2 Kyoto Cannon. And Shallow Light with a decent second place effort, but it's very clear who the strongest horse in this field is. Easter Knife gets it done. Easy money, man. Easy money with Easter Knife. What a win. What a win for Easter Knife. And he sets the record. Yeah, Shallow Light, man. I mean, granted, if Easter Knife wasn't in that race, she certainly would have won. The rest of the field was completely outmatched. So that just kind of goes to show you, like, yeah, if we decide we want to let some of our horses go, or if I unintentionally lose them, we now know we'll have some rivals to compete against in game that aren't just the in-game horses. And I think that's exciting to look forward to in the future, I mean, we could literally do that. We could always keep one breeding slot open every year just to kind of make a community-created horse, like maybe from a real horse in real life, and we'll intentionally like let that horse go. Like I won't buy it from the sales once it's 2 years old, and we'll race against it, and we'll just kind of see how it does. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. That'd be fun. At least we could continue to keep fresh and maybe some really good horses. Imagine, and we kind of put a super horse into the game. That'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome to like make. Let's say we can make. I'm trying to think of a horse that's not in this game that's in real life, but yeah, let's say Flightline, for example. We could end up producing a Flightline from the breeding barn. We could decide we're not going to ride this horse. We'll let it go to the sales. We'll just try to produce another one that we'll be able to ride. And we'll let that horse just be taken over by the AI. And imagine that horse could end up being a GWS contender. I think that's a really fun idea. Moving on to the Grade 1 February Stakes, though, full field of 14. Again, we will go through the post-parade very quickly. I'm not going to show you the abilities, just going to go through the horses here. The 1 is Blues Chief. Front runner, very fast, good power, could be competitive here. The 2 is Rising Uranus. Good horse, very fast, good heart. Has no business on the dirt, so trying to pull a miracle. Don't expect it to happen. The 3 horses, Courtly Duo. Courtly, always good. Not looking very good here today, though. A little bit past his prime. 4 is Urban Carol. Urban Carol always could be in the mix. It just depends on what's happening. Pretty fast, should be at the front. Bionic Club. We all know about Bionic Club. One of the most enjoyable and I think fastest dirt horses to work with in this game. In fact, he was one of my first sires. It was Bionic Club and Scabbit that created the Great Bolero, if you don't remember. So that's what he's got going on. That's the 5 horse. And the 6 is Green Eden. Beautiful. Is she considered Palomino? Like, what would you guys consider her? Anyways, beautiful 4-year-old filly. She's fast. Not much of a chance here today, though, even with an okay dirt rating. I'm kind of surprised by that. I'm a little bit worried about her, to be honest. She could be a surprising factor, especially with that speed figure at 80. 7 horses, Odd Trigger, 5th favorite. Odd Trigger is always a pretty well-stacked horse. A little bit past his prime, still competitive, could prove to be a problem today. 8 horses, Perfect Eden. It's a race of Edens, apparently, Herbert Eden, again, another one of those horses, if well placed, could be competitive here in the mix. Looking like a pretty competitive February Stakes field. That's unusual. Major River, we're on the 9 here with her. She's pretty much at her peak. It's as best as she gets, but I think she runs a little bit harder than that. She is 6 years old, and she should be able to really run this field away. But no, 4-year-old filly, Running Smile, the 10 horse here, second favorite, 85 speed figure, 75 heart. She's a closer. In fact, we're both probably going to be running near each other, so that horse is 7 points faster than us. We have a 7 point, actually a 9, or excuse me, I think it's 9 points, more or less, difference in the heart rating is what I'm trying to say. So we're almost kind of evenly matched. So we don't run this race right. Running Smile could easily win. 11 is Rob the Cook. Fast horse, good power rating, okay dirt rating, and again, this is a horse that the game thinks doesn't have a chance. I think the game is kind of setting us up for trying to set us up for failure here. I think these horses should not be so overlooked and underbet. 12 is Inner Society. Great breaking horse, gonna go to the front. Should be really competitive actually. If this horse can go to the front, tuck the inside rail, that's something we'll have to compete against. Not much stamina though at the later end of the race. 83 speed figure. Inner Society. Gosh, this is a really competitive field. A lot of these horses actually have a chance. Ray Babe, the 13. Decent horse. Good dirt rating. She's just not... I think if her power was a little bit stronger, she'd have a chance. She's 3 years removed from her peak. Yeah, not much of a chance here today. And the 14 is Crimson World. Could be at the front. Not good power. Could struggle, even though it could come out to an early start. So there's your field for the Grade 1 February Stakes. And we're on Major Rival. And then I believe the last race would be a Grade 2 handicap with Crazy Hunter. And that'll close out our episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed the breakdown, the post-braids, the presentation. This is how I'll be doing episodes going forward. We are not going to be racing like 20 times an episode. That was kind of getting ridiculous, but I think at least 10 to 12 is the number I'm going to stick to regardless. If it starts getting over that, then I'm going to have to make a new episode. So it's a lot easier for me to keep track of everybody. This should be our win, though. Competitive field. Anything could certainly happen if I don't do this right. Off in February Stakes. Great start here for Major River. She's just kind of going to put herself behind here. And just kind of see how the rest of the field adjusts. And then I'll more or less decide where I want her. The rail would be ideal, but I don't know if it's open. It's probably not. In fact, I can already tell. Who's that way out there? The 12. Source I was worried about. Inner Society already has the rail tucked away, so that's kind of what I was worried about with that horse wanting to go to the front and being such a decent front runner. Only expected to finish 6th. That horse could win if nobody challenges for the pace at the right time. So keeping my eye on Inner Society. But this is Major River's race to win most importantly. I'm just not underestimating my opponents because that would be foolish. Good run here, Major River. Okay, now we're going to kick away. Inner Society is still clear there to the inside. I'm going to be patient with Major River. Oh, the 10 is going to blast past us. Is that it? Come on, Major River. That can't be it. 10-9. Wow. And not a great Grade 1 for Major River. We come in 3rd place just to get smoked. What happened there? Get smoked by... Well, I said it, didn't I? I'm like, Running Smile can easily beat us if this race doesn't go right and I don't do what I need to do. Bonnet Club ends up beating us as well. Yeah, she's not better than those horses to me. I would take Running Smile or Bonnet Club any day over Major River in a dirt race for sure. Yeah, that's disappointing for sure. Certainly, if she's the favorite, she should have won. I don't know. I don't think she's stronger than those horses on the dirt. I think that's kind of crazy. If I ran the race right, sure. We get in there and we get the win. But again, I think compared to those two dirt horses, she's certainly like the 3rd favorite at best. So in the game, overbet some horses, underbet others. Last but not least, to finish off today's episode is the Kyoto Queen Stakes, Grade 2 on the dirt, 10.5. Crazy Hunter is the favorite. Now, this is a dirt horse that I'm confident with, and I know is really the real deal. Crazy Hunter is better than Major River to me in this game for a dirt horse. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll start off with the post parade. We are on the one Crazy Hunter. We'll have that inside post position. She is a couple years past her prime. Doesn't really matter. She's still winning, still competitive, and she is the horse to beat here today. Still in her 6-year-old campaign. 2 horses native factor. 4-year-old filly, not much of a chance. She's just out here getting some experience. 3 horses, purple gold, pretty much the same thing for her. I think you drop her in class, maybe she'll have a chance. 4 horses, personal dancer. Again, these last 3 horses all kind of mirror one each other. I think she's overbet. I'm not expecting her to be much of a challenge to me personally. 5, Arrogant Arbo. Much faster horse. Not great power and stamina. And to run 10.5 furlongs on the dirt here, this track has pretty tight turns. So I think these horses are going to struggle. Second favorite, though. 6 is Irish Show. Again, another one of those horses, not much of a chance. 7 is Serious Stage. At his peak, should be dropped in class. The 8 is Blue Diamond. Another horse that should be dropped in class. 9 horse National Promise. Maybe, I mean, again, I think the distance, I think she's running way too long. If you have a filly like this, I think you run her maybe 6.5 or 6 furlongs. You run her in a sprint. She doesn't have much stamina, and her speed is okay if you ran her like in an open allowance at 6 furlongs on the dirt, or like a grade 3 at 6 furlongs on the dirt. But to run her 10.5 in a grade 2 with these stats doesn't make sense. So pass. The 10 is Fairy Song. Again, all these horses kind of look alike. I think they're all way overbet in that they look really weak. The 11 is Stable Baron, same deal, don't care. 12 horses Special Luck, same thing, don't really care. Yeah, I think Crazy Hunter is a package, easily the strongest horse in this field. Like, who's the second favorite? Arrogant Arbo? Close second, but, you know. I guess we both are struggling in the power and stamina fields. But I mean, at least we have several stats still in the 70s, and then the response is still at 89. So she is still quick to know when she needs to go. Still think, you know, rest of the field way over bet, but that's just me. I enjoyed actually doing this episode this way. In all the chaos, it's actually a little bit easier for me to keep track and to really, you know, kind of be more absorbed with like these horses and exactly who we should be focusing on. I feel like when I'm just jumping from race to race, I don't have time to have too much of that set in, and then maybe I'm not making the best judgment calls. But now doing it like this, where I'm having time to really think and focus about each race and our competition and seeing how our horses are actually responding to that competition, I feel like this is what is going to allow me to really feel who is going to be worth putting in the barn at some point, and who probably is just not going to give us what we need. So I kind of wanted to block whoever that is that was rushing up. Fairy Song and Serious Stage. I didn't want them to try to box me in. They were 100% going to rush up, box me in, and then I was going to be stuck in a position I didn't want to be with. I'm keeping outside leverage with Crazy Hunter. I don't want any shenanigans in the stretch. I want to make sure we can strike at any time. So keep her on the outside. Running pretty easily. She's kind of falling asleep, to be honest. But she's maxed in. We've been managing her nicely. She hasn't been overworking herself. So this is an ideal trip I want. 3 furlongs left to go. Kind of get her up on the scene here. Okay. Here we go. And there it is. Wow. Or does this mean she's just totally in the zone? Or no, is this the reference of like, oh, the horse is so bored, it absolutely clocks out? Now the field is closing in. The 5 is really closing. How is that happening? Oh my gosh. Arrogant Arbo closed us down like a mad you-know-what and ran us down. Oh, wow. What am I supposed to do there? Was that a good thing to get or a bad thing? I'm confused. Arrogant Arbo runs us down. We hit our goal, thank goodness. Yeah, I'm not sure. I felt like she was doing better, and then the 5 ran us down, but I don't know. Did that actually sap some of her energy? It's actually been a long time since I activated that on the slot machines. So a little bit up and down. Fourth week and last week of February to close out the month. Getting a great grade 2 win with Eastern Knife. Major River, I think she was definitely outclassed. She shouldn't have been the favorite in that grade 1. I think she actually finished where she should have, and that was third. And then the Kyoto Queen Cup with Crazy Hunter, we got ran down at the end. What am I supposed to do? Our Arrogant Arbo came out of nowhere and proved to be a threat with that late closing speed. Crazy Hunter, I don't know. I don't know if she was upset that race or what. Oh, I forgot though. We are not done with the episode. Little ones are here. 2-year-olds, they've moved out. They're going to the sales, and we'll be able to acquire them within a couple of months. They're getting prepped for their racing debuts. The 1-year-olds are here, all developing at 3 stars. Just nicely. But let's look at the 5 new ones from My Master, Cleopatra, Tigress of Stone, Butterfly Effect, and Free Fear. I won't be naming them in this episode. I like to take the time to make sure I look at the names and we get everybody's names involved in rotation. So everybody's, obviously kind of getting a horse that's kind of theirs, so to speak. So let's look at this first. Colt by Golden Boy. From My Master by Golden Boy. However you would like to say it. The only time I'm using My Master, unfortunately, she does have a minus, so I don't know what that's going to do. Kind of taking a chance here. We have several families that look similar to this, like Golden Boy and siblings from within that dynamic. I think there's at least 2 or 3 of them, so Golden Boy and My Master, I'm hoping we can get a really nice dirt horse from the 2 of them. With some power and stamina to go with it, but I have no idea how this is going to be. So that'll be hit or miss. We'll think of the name later. We have a filly by Gentle House out of Cleopatra. And looking at her pedigree, Western Tiger, Swat Buster, Flying Cowboy, Awesome Autumn. She should be strong, man. There's nothing but strength in her pedigree. Now, the willful breeding types from Cleopatra and Gentle House could be the only downside. She could be really strong, or she could kind of be like a less than stellar horse. I'm hoping from the first Cleopatra horse, Cleopatra filly at that, I'm hoping she's really strong, and she should be. Gentle House hasn't failed us, and I would be surprised if Cleopatra was not a good broodmare. So I'm still expecting her to be very strong. Another filly by Formal Opera out of Tigress of Stone. So remember, Eastside Band is from Diamond Plan out of Tigress of Stone. I used Formal Opera. Last time I'm doing all of that stuff. I can't even imagine. I don't know what. I mean, you're combining Last Corner Leader and Closer. We could have a closer that can send us to the front like a rocket, get Last Corner Leader. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I expect great things from, again, another Tigress of Stone filly. Moving on here to a Colt by Joker's Card out of Butterfly Effect. Finally combining some families here with no inbreeding, fortunately. As you can see, we're taking Arctic Quap. I don't know why I always want to say Arctic Quap. It's such a weird thing. Arctic Crop and Swap Buster. I listen to something or I hear something and then I think Quap instead of Crop. It doesn't make sense. Arctic Crop and Swap Buster produced Chasing Hearts. We used her with Diamond Plan to create Joker's Card. He wasn't bad. Your average double S horse that will win maybe 4 to 6 grade 1s, no titles, okay stats. And then Butterfly Effects family, as you can see, we had Western Tiger, Irish Fleet, and Butterfly Effect, if I could speak. So, quality. I mean, this guy's got both Arctic Crop, Diamond Plan, and Western Tiger, all as really strong sires from Speed, Willful, and Guts. We could have a really surprising colt here. So, Abigail, I'm glad you told me to use Joker's Card. I wasn't initially going to use him, but him and Butterfly Effect could have actually ended up hopefully making a really ideal colt that could be a sire, and hopefully will combine with an entirely new family to get new blood going. And last but not least is a filly. So three colts and two fillies, or no, three fillies and two colts here in this crop. The name so far is Bright Falcon, from He's Stargazing, by He's Stargazing, out of Free Fear. As you can see, pretty simple in this family so far. Should have Western Tiger. Free Fear, she seems like she works with the right studs. I don't think her horses have been bad, just some of the stats haven't been ideal. But she hasn't been terrible. She's kind of been middle of the road with one really good horse. So this should be interesting in this filly. So out of this crop, I expect this horse to be really strong. I expect this filly to be strong, and I expect this filly. I'm not sure about this Colts from Golden Boy and My Master, and I'm not 100% certain on this filly from He's Stargazing and Free Fear. So those are the little ones that were just born. The 1-year-olds, Golden Boy and Real Happy, 3 stars across the board. This is the combination of 2 complete families. So this is starting an entirely new line. So when we use her as a broodmare, if she does turn out to be good, which Real Happy has actually been really nice for us as a quick broodmare. So it'll be nice. I mean, look at this family. You got Western Tiger, Arctic Crop, Vivid Legend, Honest Pegasus. And then for the ladies, you have Pink Gemstone, you have Aunt Bee. You have Lee's Gold, so she should really be solid, man. She's got the best of everything. We have a little bit of everything ability-wise in her chart as well, so I'm hoping she's really explosive. 1-year-old filly, Heart of Stone from Gentle House, out of Chasing Hearts. She should be strong. I mean, that's kind of expected, right? Big Friday, Gentle House and Butterfly Effect. Should be a monster of a front runner. I'm sincerely hoping. That would be really fun. You Made Me Promises, 1-year-old filly from Gentle House, out of Free Fear. Again, should be strong. Gentle House has been good. Free Fear hasn't given me any issues. Falling Stars from Fairy Singer and Galaxy Star. I'm only worried about this colt because of Fairy Singer. Like, he hasn't really been successful except for maybe one horse in Marksman that we're still developing. So I don't even know if Fairy Singer is actually successful as a sire. So far, he's not. Decent pedigree here. Galaxy Star, I'm hoping, really kind of gives this colt her stats. That would help. But if he inherits Fairy Singer's stats, that would kind of be disappointing for Galaxy Star's first foal. But he should be competitive. I'd be shocked if he was so bad I couldn't like achieve anything with him. He should still be competitive nonetheless. And last but not least, another filly, Phoenix Rising from Gentle House, out of Black Ruby. This is why inbreeding has gotten close to a thing in this game, because they just keep tossing us a lot of fillies and, you know, brood mares and mares, and they're not giving us enough different colts to use. So I'm gonna have to obviously acquire more from the in-game shop once that rolls around. Callie, you've been really pushing yourself recently. I'm impressed. To show you my things, I'm gonna let you take charge of a new debuting horse. And then just when I feel like I already have enough horses, the AI just conveniently decided to give me more horses. I'm going to do a quick save right quick because it's been an hour and a half of no saves. And you guys know I get paranoid when I play this game long and I don't save. So we have 3 more races, I think, to put our horses in. Eastern Knife, Crazy Hunter, and Major River. I wonder if I can retire. I mean, Major River just hit her peak. She's certainly underachieved. I wasn't expecting crazy great things from Major River. I'm just trying to think, like, she was outclassed in that dirt race by Bionic Club and Running Smile. She had no business being the favorite. Like, she's still getting a tad bit stronger. Like, yeah, if she hits 80 speed, because she beat those horses on the right day, sure. I didn't run the best race, but I still think those 2 are much better horses on the dirt than she is in this game. She's got 1 grade 1. That was the Kyoto back in January. And the thing is, I needed to win that race to get her Desert Prince. That's failed, so no title for that. And we're in the grade 2, America JC. That's a little bit off. I don't really want to wait that long. I definitely want to get her back in the mix pretty soon. I might run her in a grade 2, just to see how she responds to that at the end of the month. Just make sure we get back in the right swing with her. I was a little bit out of sync with her in the stretch. So Crazy Hunter, 2nd place. Nothing I could do. Arrogant Arbo just nailed us on the line there. It's like nothing much you can do. I still think she's competitive enough to win grade 2s, but I might want to consider putting her in a grade 3 if she doesn't have to carry a crazy handicap. 118, that's fine. That's actually an ideal grade 3. And last but not least is Eastern Knife. Eastern Knife. Winning streak, 7 wins, 9 starts, 3 grade 1s. As a 4-year-old, no titles. He's really strong, man. I know that. He's one of the best, I think, double S horses you can get at a certain level. Good abilities except for loses will. Yeah, I certainly feel like I still have to achieve a lot more with Eastern Knight. If you look at these margins, I mean, he hasn't won by double digits at all. His longest win was 8 furlongs in a Dublin long. China Vase at 6 furlongs. He won that grade 2 by 5. I need to make sure half a dozen lengths is our minimal winning distance. So when I'm in a grade 2 in the Toronto, I'm not totally opposed to running him in that. 15 furlongs, why not? Do these grade 2s I don't usually do because I just don't have the horses. I hadn't had the horses capable of doing them for such a long time. All right, so new horses are born, which means breeding can finally begin. The most decision-based time in this game. So that means the next episode I will have the breeding pairs officially. So if you guys have any last recommendations, I will be putting on screen again the tentative breeding combinations that I spent like 4 to 6 hours like going through my charts, putting all the names, all the pedigrees together, seeing who could be compatible. I was looking at also ability type, speed and willful, speed and guts. I was looking at families and identifying which combinations seem to work. Speed and willful, of course, always seem to work. I've gotten some really good horses from willful and guts, and I've also gotten some good horses from speed and guts. So I was just trying a combination. And I think based off of what we have available, that'll be the best thing to do. Now, keep in mind, there are still horses I need to retire. Like, I think Soy Conquistador. I don't know if I put her back here yet. I don't think I did. Yeah, Soy Conquistador. I'm going to put her back. All of these breeding pairs you see on the screen, ignore these. These are not sticking. I think these were the initial ones. So I will need to replace Chasing Hearts and my Master. I'm not using either of those two this year. So yeah, actually, let me see if I can pull that up right now. I haven't actually said them out loud in the video. It might help to kind of let you guys know. So here's what we're looking at. Well, I actually should just wait till I retire. Yeah, she's not going to race till next month. I think she's done enough. She did win that grade 3. Could I keep her on a winning streak? I don't know, maybe. But we need fresh blood now. So she will retire with 14 wins and 22 starts, 7 grade 1s, and 84,000 in purses with no titles. I think she did well enough from Diamond Plan out of Chasing Hearts. Certainly, I think she did. I mean, yeah, she did about as expected. She didn't. I don't think she overachieved, and I don't think she underachieved. I think for where she was at, she pretty much did exactly as she needed to do. So, just taking a screenshot of her stats. We'll go ahead and retire her. She will replace the aging Chasing Hearts, who is 16. Yeah, I don't really want to keep horses like... I think the oldest I want to see a horse hit back here is 13, and that's pushing it. Like, Butterfly Effect is 12, but in all honesty, we haven't really used her that often. We've kind of kept her to the same 2 sires, and I feel like if we can continue to get more Butterfly Effect front runners with those really good balanced stats, I think Butterfly Effect for her family and what we're doing is still important to keep. We will go ahead and replace Chasing Hearts. And I don't know who I'm going to have replace my Master. Like Major River, she hasn't hit her peak. Crazy Hunter, I could retire her anytime, and if I want to start a dirt line, this year could be the year. Her next race is at the end of the month, so I mean, I don't know who else I want to retire. Bay City. She's won 12 furlong race away from getting a title. I'm still trying to get her that, but if she doesn't win this next race, that'll be it. She's also racing, but again, they're both racing at the end of the month, so like I would have to breed with them before we got to their races. So if I'm gonna retire either of them, it'd have to be now. But let's be honest, Bay City. Bay City actually makes more sense to retire now. Crazy Hunter, I think I could still run on the dirt, and then just retire sometime and during summer or maybe towards the end of the year. Same thing with Major River, maybe, but she won't really have a major fall off. Major River, I might just race until whenever, but we'll need to get her back there. Bay City, technically, I know I missed that I'm missing that title with her, and she could still maybe win that race at the end of the month, but I don't know. Because again, if she doesn't win it, then what do I do? Drop her to just the grade 2s and grade 3s? I've just ran her grade 1s primarily, I think. I've been running her in nothing but grade 1s. She's won by 9 furlongs, mostly underneath that distance. I never really thought about dropping her to grade 2s and grade 3s. I mean, because I always felt she was competitive enough to win grade 1s. I think her stats will stay decent for her to actually compete in grade 2s and grade 3s, so I guess this is why we don't make the decision now. Who do we retire? Miss Vaporwave, I forgot. We did consider her. Her stats are still decent. And I kind of wanted to see if we could get her some more wins. You know what I mean? Like, her chart line isn't falling off completely. So the only brood mares, or the only mares I'm looking at retiring is Miss Vaporwave here. 13 wins out of 22 starts, 4 grade 1s, no titles. We could retire her. We could retire Crazy Hunter, but I'm still enjoying working with Crazy Hunter. See her stats. 13 wins at 22 starts, 9 grade 1s. I think she could still win at grade 2 and grade 3 levels depending on the day, so I kind of want to continue to stack a little bit more with her. Or Bay City. 5-year-old mare, as you can see. Her power is about to be under 70. Same with Heart, so she'll start going backwards pretty rapidly. Which means there's really not much more racing, quality racing I think I'll get at the higher graded stakes. Again, though, I've only run her grade 1s for I think most of her career, except for the 2-year-old season of the occasional opener and allowance races. So dropping her in class could work. Maybe she could actually still be competitive, which would be great. I've only raced her 17 times, a little bit less than some of the other horses, so I'm not really ready to retire her yet. Like, I don't mind waiting till next year because we're gonna, put her back there between now and next year anyways. It's just like, am I ready to retire her yet? Not so much. I think Crazy Hunter could replace my master. Crazy Hunter is definitely the better dirt horse, and just to show you again, 9 grade 1s, 13 wins, and 22 starts with the dirt champs. So, really, I mean, realistically speaking, Crazy Hunter's achieved everything. Like, she really has. I think she makes the most sense because I don't want to do my master. But I think Crazy Hunter would make the most sense. She's completely fresh. She has no other pedigrees in her blood that we know of. So let me go ahead and take you guys to the potential breeding. Some horses are back here, some aren't. So all these will be forming new families, and only one pairing will be producing another full sibling. I'm doing Tigris of Stone and Diamond Plan one more time because, again, I want to see if we can get another Eastside band. Or are we going to get a worse Eastside band? Or are we going to get a stronger one? Or are we just going to get, a duplicate? I think having 2 siblings for Eastside band, 2 siblings of that pedigree will be really nice. So that'll probably be the last time I use Tigris of Stone. We've gotten quite a bit from her. She has a lot of horses out. And she's given us quality, and I feel confident with what she's been able to produce. She's 12 years old as well. She's getting up there in age, so we'll need some fresh blood. Same thing with Butterfly Effect. We may use her for another season or 2. So Tigris of Stone and Diamond Plan, that's locked in. Soy Conquistador. I had her paired up with Formal Opera, actually. You see Soy Conquistador, fast growth type. We just retired her, obviously. She did end up having 7 Grade 1 wins, so she wasn't a slouch with the Grade 1 races. We'll pair her up with Formal Opera. Formal Opera. We're starting to cut back on him. Like, I'll be cutting back on Diamond Plan, Gentle House, Golden Boy, He's Stargazing, Formal Opera. I will still use them when I think it makes sense and we can actually start a new family, and I'll make sure to keep those families, on their own paths, and I won't bring them into the other older families we have. But I'm cutting down on 5 of our 8 sires as far as using them. We're going to start getting more new and fresh blood. So, no complaints. Should match up. That's what I want. I want us to start these new families, and I want everybody to conceive. So far we have Formal Opera and Soy Conquistador, Diamond Plan, and Tigris of Stone. Good cost as well. Cleopatra. Hopefully you guys are going to be looking forward to this one, because I couldn't believe, I was worried about inbreeding. None of it at all. They're from 2 entirely different families. We're going to do Cleopatra and Solo Rider. No inbreeding at all. He has Desert Diver, Ant Bee, Moon Trapper, Diamond Plan. Perfect match as well. And her pedigree, Western Tiger, Swab Buster, Awesome Autumn, Flying Cowboy. They are literally 2 horses from 2 entirely different families that we are joining together. So the good example of proper breeding and keeping certain horses completely unrelated to others that we have. So really excited for Solo Rider and Cleopatra. I can't even imagine. So we're taking a Moon Rider colt, which I wasn't expecting to have at all, and breeding him with a Flying Cowboy mare. So my master, again, she'll be replaced. In fact, I'm just going to put this to auto, so just leave that. Butterfly Effect. I know everybody wanted me to do Secret Ending, but Secret Ending needs to be with 2 other horses actually for us to get new families. So with Butterfly Effect, I decided I was going to do this pairing that you guys should also be excited about, because again, I hadn't looked at my pedigrees before deciding some of these. And again, these are not 100% locked in. Some of them aren't. Like, if we decide we really need to change it, I think we should. But I like I said, I was on my computer looking through stuff for like 6 hours. It was the longest I spent in a while doing Gallop Racer research and breeding, and really trying to take everything everybody said into consideration. I have my notes, I have my papers of all the little things you guys have mentioned. And I really try to put most of these combinations together based off of all the information we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Butterfly Effect and Valley King. 2 completely different families again. So fortunately we did have some horses that we kept the families pretty unique, and we didn't obviously venture too far out. So Butterfly Effect, fortunately, only coming from Western Tiger and Irish Fleet. That makes it easier to use her. And Valley King, I mean, we'll get a willful and a gutsy horse, because Valley King has grit, so he's gutsy. Cannot wait. The front runner capabilities, the late growth type as well. Keep that in mind. Valley King is our only legitimate late growth type stud back here. So we know we're not getting a weak horse. I know I'm not. I'm confident we're not getting a weak horse. So from her and Valley King with that late growth type, I can't wait. Can't wait. So that's Butterfly Effect and Valley King for now. Free Fear, I will use her again. Could be the last time. She's not old. She will be 11 next year, but I think I want to get some new blood in here. She's really fast, so at least I know we're getting speed from her, and she's really good on her left side. Her power rating is her worst attribute. So Free Fear, I decided to book again with Valley King, because she was only used with 2 other sires. This would be her 3rd and last sire, and again, the families are all different. So Valley King will be siring Butterfly Effect and Free Fear. Again, excited about both of those. This will be a speed and guts combination full there. So we have Galaxy Star and Solo Rider. That is not happening. I think there was inbreeding or something along those lines. But Galaxy Star. We'll be doing, once Secret Ending is, once I retire him, which I will obviously within the next 2 weeks, I'll make sure to remember. I will do Galaxy Star and Secret Ending. Of course, Secret Ending, we raced with him earlier. His stamina's not great, but look who has double S stamina, Galaxy Star. So I'm hoping that whatever horse they have, if she conceives, that the foal doesn't inherit Secret Ending stamina. Otherwise, the horse should be strong everywhere else primarily. If we can get lucky with the stamina, that would be fantastic. We could get a super horse just that quickly by breeding Galaxy Star and Secret Ending because she's already there with the stamina. She's fast with her speed. Her power is not bad. Secret Ending already has double S speed. He already has like double S power. So again, if these two are able to work, it could really be a monster of a horse. And again, it could be another Eastside Band type of horse just that quickly. So I'm just glad we finally have quality broodmares that we can feel confident to know we're going to get those horses. We didn't used to be at that point. Frugal Lark, last but not least, I'm not doing her in Golden Boy. I kind of wanted to, but I think that would be... I think Golden Boy is willful. It could have worked, but instead I decided to do the last, I think, from, again, one of the 5 siders I'm going to stop using after this season pretty much going forward. He's Stargazing. I think, again, new family, not much happening on Stargazing side. He's only from Western Tiger out of Lee's Gold. And, yeah, Frugal Arc, I mean, I just retired her. So, like, this is fresh. And obviously we'll still probably want to pair Frugal with one more really strong sire that reliably can give us the horses we want for a while. And I'll just make sure I keep that family exclusive with just full-blooded siblings. And then once they branch out again, I'll make sure they all go their own direction to create their own families. So Stargazing and Frugal Lark. Again, Stargazing has good speed. They're basically the speed, staying, power, and stamina. The top 4, that should be ideal, even at its worst. So that to me gives me really good confidence. And to have that from a Frugal Lark horse, I'm hoping the growth type is relatively sustained. Stargazing didn't peak until he was like 4.5, 5. So great close race, okay. Western Tiger in the blood and DNA as well. Really looking forward to that. So basically, this will be all the breedings except for Galaxy Star and Solar Rider. Again, I need to retire Secret Ending, which I will do after we race him one last time. And my master will probably be replaced by Crazy Hunter. She's actually or Miss Vaporwave. I was deciding I would have done Secret Ending and Miss Vaporwave as well. She's pretty fast. I think she definitely should be bred with a sprinter and a speedster. So either we're putting Miss Vaporwave or Crazy Hunter here. You guys can kind of help me make the decision. I'm fine with putting either or. I still think I can race both of them for like another year, so I'm not really... Like, whoever I have to put back here is fine. And like I said, Galaxy Star, I will be breeding with Secret Ending. So we will get one last horse from Formal Opera for now. Could be, legitimately. Like I said, these sires, I do want to get them moved out of the barn. At some point. They've been back here long enough. We've got great horses from them. I think at some point we just need fresh blood in here. So Formal Opera, I think this will be his last one with Soy Conquistador. Solar Rider is just starting. Him and Cleopatra are really excited. Diamond Plan, this will be his last one with Tigris of Stone, giving us hopefully another Eastside Band, another full-blooded sibling to Eastside Band. Valley King with Butterfly Effect, a sustained endurance type of horse, would be fantastic with really great power. I think that'll happen. Free Fear Valley King also should be good. Again, a late developing horse with the best attributes from both parents. So I think Valley King might actually have the strongest possible horses in this combination. And I'm just guessing. I could be completely wrong. I mean, any one of these could really prove to be more powerful than the other. Frugal Arc, and he's Stargazing. That should be fun. The horse will definitely have the power, speed, and stamina to hopefully run virtually anywhere. So I think we're going to get a really flexible horse, and that'll be the last from he's Stargazing. Galaxy Star will be with Secret Ending, and whoever we put here will also be with Secret Ending. And that's how we'll kick off year 40 in this game for breeding. Bill's already at 130K, which is up there for one of our more expensive breeding bills. Alright guys, it's almost 2 hours. A long episode. I definitely still want to keep these episodes shorter going forward. I don't want them to be this long all the time because I actually want to be able to get more episodes out to you guys on the regular basis. I could very well split this up, but I needed to do that when I'm like conscious of actually, kind of having breaks and splitting it up. I didn't actually take any breaks, but I was okay. I feel good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys like the format as well. I think the post parade does take a bit of time, which is why I stopped doing it for so long. Maybe I don't do it for open races and grade threes, but granted, grade threes and grade twos are still important in this game. And if that's all we're running, maybe I shouldn't do them all the time. Maybe I should set up a rule that just like, I don't know, grade ones always should receive a post parade. And then the other races, I don't know. Like, I think it's helpful. I'm learning more about some of the in-game horses. I don't completely want to get rid of it as like a thing. But I don't want it taking up so much time in the episodes. If that's the case, then I have to drop the amount of races we do. And I still think doing 10 is fine, but maybe I drop the races to like 6 or 7. Maybe like an actual race card. Most race cards have 8 races. They're not going to 10 unless it's like a bigger track. So maybe I should actually drop our races to at least 7 or 8. That still makes sure that we're able to keep track of everything and not be overwhelmed. So you guys let me know your thoughts on breeding and the amount of races we should have, everything else in the comment section below. I appreciate it for love and support. Channel, as always, make sure to join our Discord for the conversation and the talks as we head into breeding season here for year 40 in this playthrough, and we get excited for yet another competitive season ahead. I'm not sure who our rivals are going to be as of yet. We'll have 6 2-year-olds, 6 or 7 2-year-olds hitting the track, some of which could potentially be our best horses. And in fact, maybe we should look at them right quick. I could save that for the next episode, but since we're here, just show you who's getting our new horses. We're close with everybody except Pink. How is that possible? So Pink, or excuse me, Nozawa's getting 2-year-old filly flying home, from He's Stargazing out of Real Happy. She should be good. Should be. I think Real Happy is proven to be nice. Sheba is getting Whispering Gold. This guy should be a monster from Gentle House out of Chasing Hearts. Should be a monster. Cook is getting Comet Inspector and Revenge. Comet Inspector, 2-year-old colt from Gentle House out of Black Ruby. Should be powerful. Gentle House has been successful. And Revenge, 2-year-old colt from Gentle House out of Butterfly Effect, what I would consider my project horse. And really looking forward to that colt's debut as well. Cafe Bronco will be here with Riviera, 2-year-old colt. Cafe Bronco from Gentle House out of Tigris of Stone, half sibling to Eastside Band. Could get another Eastside Band, I don't know. Franck has nobody. Silver has nobody, thankfully. Pink has no one. And Parks has Rock You Hurricane, 2-year-old colt from Golden Boy out of Free Fear. We've already had that. There's a full sibling on track. And Extreme Kick, 2-year-old filly from Formal Opera out of Toxic Blonde. Should be really, really fast. I'm excited for that horse as well. Those are the 2-year-olds that'll be hitting the track. A lot of power, a lot of should be really strong horses, and we'll see how they get on. Thank you guys for enjoying. Until next time, though, Horse Racing Gamer signing out. See you later. Fantastic day.
Welcome to Horse Racing Gamer, where champions are made.